Hello, my friend, and welcome to Pro Wrestling Daily. My name is Aaron Machbitz. Now, let's talk about the August 10th edition of Monday Night Raw. I thought this episode of Monday Night Raw was solid enough. It was good enough and had some, good, creative, interesting television going into next week. Some of the sort of the big moments we saw was, right, Solo Sikoa now must report to Roman Reigns after losing to Jey Uso. And Paul Heyman told Braun Breaker to give him a reason to not respect Oba Femi anymore. Plus, Roman Reigns' Lucha Tournament for Mexico City kicked off. Not a bad start at all to August. We've seen way worse episodes of Monday Night Raw. Certainly, we've obviously seen much better episodes of Monday Night Raw, of course, but this was good enough. This was solid enough. There's some anticipation and interest heading into next week, heading into Money in the Bank, heading into Mexico City, and eventually heading into Survivor Series. And so one thing that we have to kick off about is kind of the thing that jumps in my brain the most about this episode, the August 10th edition of Monday Night Raw, is Solo Sikoa. The buzz on the internet has Solo Sikoa always had this much charisma? Has he always been this charismatic, and why has WWE been hiding this charisma for the last 4 years? Solo Sikoa is easily the most entertaining and charismatic person in the bloodline, and it's not even close. I mean, there is buzz all over the internet about how much charisma Solo has. I mean, this guy had me laughing. This guy had everyone laughing. He was in the crowd. He had the people around him laughing during the entire opening segment with Jey Uso on Monday Night Raw. But I think people are actually loving the idea of Solo Sikoa as a babyface, so I'm not sure what's going to happen when he does report to Roman Reigns. Because giving up on the Solo Sikoa babyface idea right now is wrong. I don't think he needs to infiltrate the bloodline and ruin them from the inside. I'm not super interested in that. I am interested in Solo Sikoa being a top babyface in WWE, especially if he's bringing that kind of charisma and charm and entertainment value. It was awesome. It does make you wonder why WWE didn't sort of lean into this side of his personality from the beginning. It just feels so natural, so entertaining, so relatable. And so let's hope we get a really good sort of babyface run from Solo Sikoa. That would be awesome. I mean, again, a comment on X is like, WWE has been hiding Solo Sikoa away from us for 4 years. Dude has more charisma than all of his family members currently on television. I mean, absolutely true. And then another huge thing, obviously, that happened on Monday Night Raw is the face-off between Braun Breaker and Oba Femi. These are the superstars of the current and the future for WWE, and they've done a really good job building up Oba Femi as an absolute beast, power horse, someone who can beat Roman Reigns for the championship. They did that for a while with Braun Breaker, then he fell off, and now you're going to see sort of the resurgence of Braun Breaker. And one thing I will say about this Braun Breaker versus Oba Femi feud that's sort of coming together is that it's making Braun Breaker, again, feel like a legitimate main event player, because he didn't for a while. He was sort of pushed off into the tag team division for some stupid shit, but he needs to feel like a legitimate star that can main event WrestleMania and that can beat any person on the roster. And so that's something that WWE, again, started to lose even after his feud with Seth Rollins and his return from injury. And so I hope WWE keeps Braun in the main event picture, has a great feud with Oba Femi, and something happens between these two that basically creates two megastars. But at this point, I don't think Braun Breaker can afford a loss, especially a one-on-one loss. And I don't think Oba Femi can also afford a one-on-one loss. So I am interested to see how WWE sort of manipulates this story to make both guys look like superstars at the end of it. And we'll see how that goes. But of course, we want to see the sort of the initial clash of this kind of 10-year feud that's going to happen between Braun Breaker and Oba Femi, kind of like the 14-year feud of Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. And then another interesting thing that came out where we talked about Mexico City, someone's going to face Roman Reigns, and I saw this very interesting post on X about the tournament. So let me read this to you, and then we can kind of discuss further our thoughts on that. So let me get this straight. We're going to spend several weeks watching a tournament that Penta is obviously going to win, just so we can get a match with Roman Reigns that the Tribal Chief is obviously going to win. Sure, we'll probably get a couple of pretty good matches along the way, but with absolutely zero suspense. The whole thing just feels like a waste of time. Am I the only one who feels this way, or is anyone else with me? Now, that was the first tweet, and then there was a couple response. And so some person said, and I thought this was interesting, we get weeks worth of good matches and a very good match where a mid-card guy will get to face a main eventer in what will be super electric atmosphere for the world title inside of Mexico City. That is a good point. And you're saying that's a waste of time because we know Roman is going to win. He's going to win every feud until he faces Oba. Should he just not defend the belt at all? Another good point. Exactly. You've highlighted that the problem is even bigger than that. We know Penta is winning the tournament. We know Roma, that's his lucha name. We know Roman is beating Penta. And we already know Reigns is eventually dropping the title to Oba. The creative team is just writing shallow, surface-level stories. That's really all it is. And yes, if OTC is going to lose to Oba anyways, then just do it at Money in the Bank. What's the point of dragging it out? And then, who's saying they're not? Who's saying they are dragging it out? But they need to fill time and space in between then and now. And so when Oba and Roman Reigns clash, which eventually will happen, I don't think it's going to happen at Money in the Bank, and I don't think it's going to happen at Survivor Series. I do think it's going to happen at the Royal Rumble. Because if they don't have Oba win the Royal Rumble, then you haven't beat Roman Reigns at the Royal Rumble. Because you're going to do Braun Breaker, Oba Femi for a little while. There's the Bloodline story, which is going to lead to War Games, and so there's some things going on there. I think he has a good point. I don't care for the lucha matches. Like, it is what it is. But it doesn't matter if Roman's going to win. You want to give that guy a chance because the people in Mexico City want to see a luchador wrestle the biggest star WWE has to offer. And I think both people on X gave valuable points about kind of the situation we're in. And then this is what I think, right? When I'm watching Raw, I'm saying, okay, the best stuff on the show for August 10th has been talking, character, and story stuff from LA Knight, Braun Breaker, Solo Sikoa, Becky Lynch, and Jacob Fatu. Absolutely crushed it. But the in-ring is secondary, and it's not very good. For me, it's a little bit unwatchable, especially the lucha stuff. It's like kind of time-filling, sort of work rate matches with a lot of mid-carders that aren't even electrifying as work rate mid-card matches because it's slow and really bad lucha. That's hardly state-of-the-art. The lucha we are seeing is not state-of-the-art. It's bad, it's slow, it's forced. All the duck clotheslines they miss, and it's slow, and it's all the same moves over and over again. It's not state-of-the-art. It's really not. And so, again, the best stuff has been that talking and character work from those wrestlers I mentioned, and the in-ring stuff, the work rate has not been electrifying whatsoever. At least when, the X Division guys were trotted out, they were explosive and exciting in like 2005. The best physicality on the show came from Javon and Big Bill. And so the question is, can the stars please get some ring time? Because I don't want to see, low level, what's supposed to be great matches with some mid-card work rate bullshit. I want to see some great fucking matches on television, and I also want to see the stars and the characters be built. So, again, that's my take on the August 10th edition of Monday Night Raw. I thought it was a solid enough episode with some intriguing things moving forward and some good stuff from a certain few performers on the WWE roster. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Then like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Lots of love. Cheers.